nothing shocks me. I stand by what I said. When you sue a company, it's the least likely chance you'll ever go back. There's Carlos and Nene. So Nene's rep, call me Nene's rep. You're lying because Carlos is on there. I see Mr. King. I see Miss King in her crown.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you clean up that? What is in her interest to keep promoting? Of course, we love our Carlos. But if you're cleaning up your feed and there's no need to keep promoting, why is Mr. King still on there?
That's my point. So, but I do think that, so listen, do I think there is a chance Nene could go back to RHOA? Look, the house is broken. Listen, I don't think it's likely. I think the house is broken. I think maybe they're dangling the peach, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I mean, I don't think it's going to happen for a lot of reasons. I think Nene's going to go from 0 to 100. And the minute they say, let's start a discussion, she's going to go, $2 million. And they're going to say like, bitch, you're making 0. There was a middle ground. And I think the negotiations would fall apart because she's going to go from being desperate to go back to being too big for her britches, which is the big thing people do wrong in any negotiation. But I just think, so I think it's more likely than not that she won't be back on RHOA. That's what I think. But I think if Bravo's dangling the carrot, Nene, girl, don't be stupid. And right. And then she's right. I guess then she's being played by Bravo versus anything else. But maybe Nene played Bethenny in the sense that she got back on everyone's radar. I agree with you that the way to kind of shut Bethenny up and the reckoning is to bring back Nene. And so could that make them happy? Sure. And it could also save the franchise. So it could be a win-win. I still don't think it's going to happen with it when there's been a lawsuit. I just don't. I'm going to stick to that. But I think it's possible. This isn't Melissa Gorga 100% being fired. I'm starting to see gray area, but I just don't see it happening. I don't
think Bravo is doing as badly as we think. I think the reality reckoning has helped them. I mean, we talked about this on our last episodes. Potomac has over 2 million viewers now. And Potomac hasn't had those ratings in years. Salt Lake City, enormous ratings. I would venture to guess Beverly Hills, even though it's a little soft this year, huge rating. BravoCon, an incredible attendance. I mean, I don't believe for 1 second they're hurting. I think reality reckoning is helping them. I think there is no such thing as bad press. It's just what you do with it. And I think they're doing terrific. And I think reality reckoning is, like I've always said, Bethenny has an amazing point. And I don't think they'll get a union, but I do think that Bethenny, Ebony, your friend, Leah, for whatever we think of Leah, Nene. I mean,
not much, girl.
Okay. Sorry. I do think their speaking up will get like image rights paid out, more syndication payments for these individuals. I do think the mission was great. I just think the leader of the mission is a self-serving, narcissist who really could care. It's about how does this benefit me and how am I looked at as, the Jimmy Hoffa of reality reckoning for the rest of my life. So,
her podcast is not number one. It's she just has to accept like she's trying. I still think Bethenny is lost. I do. I think she's trying to, and that's fine. We all want to be at the top. Which is weird that these
women are lost because they're such powerhouses. It's like, I don't know.
And by the way, therapy, I mean, I don't go to therapy, but for the 2 seconds I made a guest appearance at therapy like 10 years ago, I have it all figured out. So I don't need to go to therapy because I know everything apparently. But Bethenny needs some therapy because in the 2 seconds I was in therapy, you learn that you don't have to be the best. Like you have to be comfortable in mediocrity and then go to achieve the stars. I'm telling you, in my next life, I'm going to have a life advice podcast and everyone's going to tune in. Okay. So Bethenny needs to learn. It's just like, it's okay, girl. You're charting, you're making money. It's not a failure. You don't have to be the number one, I mean, but that's what I think. I don't think she's going back to RHO. To address your point about the 3, I think if there's truly 3 being kept, I do think it's Candy, I think it's Kenya, and I think it's Sheree. I totally agree with you. I personally will say it again. Everyone's going to scream. There's somebody on YouTube that always is a huge RHOA fan and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm going to call shit when I see it. I called the OC shit. I called RHOSLC shit. Atlanta to me should just be rebooted and just figure out a fuck. You already got Candy's fucking OLG spinoff. Give Kenya Moore a fucking show. Figure out what to do with Kenya Moore.
I don't think we need Sheree. I'm sorry. I'm like fine with Sheree going.
No. So
I adore Marlo, but
I would let all of them go. I really would. I would start over and get 30 to 40 somethings. I like older, but let's let it have 20 years to breathe, so they can grow into their roles. And I would give Kenya Moore a fucking show. Fine. You don't want to lose her on the network. She is gold. Kenya Moore is gold. Give her a show. Candy as her spinoff, and wish everyone else good luck and start over. Drew Sidor is speaking out. RHOA was never in my bio. People are saying Drew and Sanya took it off their bio. Drew says it was never in her bio. Thank God in life. I don't know the true answer because I'm too busy to be focused on Drew's freaking bio, but I had Sanya on this podcast. Wonderful, 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 wonderful person. But I just, it's just probably, yeah. And Drew, girl, at least tell the truth about something if you're going to be on the damn reality show. Stop acting. Okay. So like, and yeah, Marlo.
I love Marlo, but there's
much.
Look, and I'm saying this about myself too. And sometimes in life, I'm like, sometimes my strength is like just being a co-host. Like there's nothing wrong with that because you can shine so bright. But Marlo is a great hype woman. She's fantastic. She's fantastic with a Nene. She's fantastic with a Kim Zolciak. She's great with Kenya and Candy. But it's just, sometimes it's very hard. It's like the documentary 20 Feet from Stardom. It's really hard to take the center mic. It just is. And so Marlo ain't it for me. Quite honestly, I love Candy. Candy Burris to me is just, I want her to do a business and life podcast. But we've seen Candy for a decade. I'm good with Candy. Like, I don't need to see her anymore. I don't think Candy and Todd show up for real anymore. I really don't. I think they're very strategic about what they put out there.
And it's a whole advertisement. Yes, it's a whole advertisement.
That's all it is. Sheree is probably, Sheree's, again, I think like Marlo, awesome. Kenya, I agree. Kenya is a leading lady. I don't know what.
And she's bored. She's bored. She has nobody to riff off of. She's bored. She would love it if a Nene came back. Even if, listen, I'm going to give her credit. I can't believe this because everyone's going to really come for me now. But, Margaret Josephs used to tell me, I'm good with Jennifer there. Like, this helps. Like, it helps. I like having someone. I mean, that is the job. You have to pass the ball. You want to be on an all-stars cast, even though you hear these stories about all these women fighting for camera time and this and that, and they all want to be. I do agree with everything Bethenny says about that because I've heard it firsthand. Everyone wants to be Andy's favorite and kissing the ass. But like Margaret used to say to me, like, no, it's good Jennifer's there. Like, I don't need her gone because like, this is like helping. We're fighting. This is how good for the show. It's good for me. So, I mean, I think Kenya understands that, and Kenya would love a Nene to come back, whether she hates her or loves her. She needs the all-stars to spar with. I just don't see it. I think RHOA should start over. I'm not going to change off of that.
I think that's what they're doing, right? But they're just play the field and make it seem like Nene could be back.